mathematicians. My name is Sergeant Taylor, and today we're going to learn how to subtract fractions with like denominators here at Math Boot Camp. When learning how to subtract fractions with a like denominator, the first thing you want to do is check the denominator. Remember, the denominator is the bottom number of your fraction. In this case, it's down below under the fraction bar. So when we're looking at 5/6 and 3/6, they both have a 6 in the denominator. So this is going to make our problem so easy to solve. Since we have common denominators, we're ready to move on to the next step, which is to subtract the numerators. Remember, the numerator is the top number of your fraction. So we're going to subtract 5 minus 3, and that equals 2. I'm going to make that the top of my answer for the fraction. Finally, we're going to keep the denominators the same. Since we had a 6 in both of our fractions when we were subtracting, we're also going to have a 6 as the denominator for our answer. 5/6 minus 3/6 equals 2/6. Now, for us in 3rd grade, that's our final answer. But when you move on to 4th grade, you're going to have to learn how to simplify that fraction. But that's for another lesson on another day. Here's another way to show your work. You can draw a picture or a model of the fractions. In this case, you start off with 5/6. So I drew a model that has 6 pieces in it. I colored 5 of them green. Then I X'd out 3/6 of them, which is just 6 of the rectangles. That leaves you with 2/6 of the rectangles that are still green. You can also show your work on a number line. Remember, when you're dealing with fractions, that a fraction is less than 1. So I'm going to make a number line that goes from 0 to 1 and fill in the fractions in between. So I have 1/6, 2/6, 3/6, 4/6, and 5/6. I'm going to put a dot on 5/6 because that's what my problem starts off with. And since I'm subtracting 3/6, I'm going to jump backwards 3. 1, 2, 3. That puts me on 2/6, which is the final answer. Okay, young soldiers, let's see what we've learned so far. Go grab a piece of paper and something to write with, and let's start subtracting fractions with the same denominator. Okay, young soldiers, don't forget to show your work today as you're solving each problem. You can do that in one of 3 different ways. Number 1, you can draw a fraction and X out the pieces that are getting subtracted. Number 2, you can make a fraction number line and hop backwards on it when you find the difference. Or step number 3, simply highlight the top number or the numerator so that you remember to only subtract those 2 numbers and keep the bottom number, the denominator, the same. If you forget to show your work, boys and girls, you're going to have to drop and give me 20 push-ups. Here's your first problem. 7/8 minus 4/8 equals what? Pause the video, show your work on a piece of paper, figure out the answer, and unpause the video to check your answer. Good luck, everyone! If you wrote that the answer was 3/8, then you are correct. Do 5 jumping jacks. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I used a model to represent my answer. I drew a rectangle and then I colored 7 pieces of it green to show 7/8. Then I subtracted or put an X on 5/8 of the green pieces. That only left me with 3/8 green pieces, so the answer is 3/8. Here's our next problem. What's the difference between 9/10 and 4/10? Remember that the word difference means to subtract. Pause the video and figure out the answer. If you got 5/10 or simplified your fraction to 1/2, then you got it right. Let's do 5 windmills or toe touches. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job, boys and girls. This time I highlighted the numerators in each fraction. I subtracted 9 minus 4 and got 5. Then I circled the denominator in each fraction, which is a 10, and copied it to the answer. So our final answer is 5/10. Moving on to number 3. What is 3/4 minus 2/4? Go ahead and pause the video and figure out the difference between the 2 fractions. If you got 1/4, then you're climbing up the ranks. Let's do 5 jump squats together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job. This time I made a fraction number line. Put 0 on the left side and 1 on the right-hand side of your number line. Then write the fractions 1/4, 2/4, and 3/4 in between. Start on 3/4 and jump 2 times toward the 0. You landed on 1/4, which is your answer. Soldiers, it's time for snack. Lucky for us, the cafeteria has baked us up some scrumptious brownies for us to try. Let's go check it out. Our next problem is written a little bit differently. It's written like a word problem. This model is shaded to represent one whole. It's our tray of brownies. Remember that shaded means that we have to color some of the pieces in the rectangle. Since it represents a whole, we have to color in all the pieces. I used brown since it's a tray of brownies. The next part says these two models are each shaded to represent a fraction. What is the difference between these two fractions? Now, we could visualize this in our head, but my sergeant told me that I have to change each picture to a fraction and then subtract. So that's the strategy that we will be using today too. Pause the video and figure out the fraction of the brownies that we have left. After I changed each model or fraction to a picture, it's so much easier to me. The first picture is 11/12 because there's 11 pieces that are brown out of 12 pieces. In the second model, there's 6 pieces that are brown, and there are 12 pieces there. Since we have common denominators, it's very easy for us to find the difference between 11/12 and 6/12. So then we can find out how many brownies were left. Pause the video and figure out your answer. If you got 5/12, then you're correct. Drop and give us 5 push-ups. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good job, boys and girls. All you have to do is subtract 11 minus 6, that equals 5. And then the 12 stays the same all the way across. So it's 5/12 of the brownies are left. I sure hope you got one because they sure were delicious. Congratulations! You completed Subtracting Fractions with Like Denominators Boot Camp. We are so proud of you and your hard work.
I appreciate your hard work today, young soldiers, as we learned how to subtract fractions with the same denominator. If you liked today's video, make sure to click the like button. And if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, click the subscribe button so you don't miss out on a single adventure. Until next time, goodbye.